Okay, so here's part of our reel buying series. We're going to look at this little Gordon reel, and this has three faults mainly. It is actually a working reel, as it happens. It's made by Sharps of Aberdeen. It's a 3.5, and you can hear the ratchet. The ratchet works perfectly. There's nothing wrong with the ratchet, but you can see straight away this doesn't look very standard at all. And so there's one thing to watch for when you're buying reels, is make sure it looks like it's got the right parts on it. And this, obviously, in the centre, we are missing the wide cheese head screw that goes on the top here. Someone's put another type of screw on there, and it'll still work, but it's not really the way it should be. The other fault, the third fault with this, as you can see, is the foot. Now you got to watch this with zinc cast, because once you've bent it a little bit, the next thing it'll do is it'll crack. So this reel really has to have a replacement put on. And since this is riveted, it's not impossible, but it could be quite difficult. And because of that, mainly this reel is mainly just for parts, and it is a shame because it's otherwise quite a good body. Now this particular little reel, this is a Hardy, a Valnwick. It's one of the Altexes. It's a Mark 1. It's sorry, a number 1, which is the size, and it's a Mark 3. Now then, this particular reel has a missing screw there, so that's kind of one negative that goes against it. And if you take this off, because this has been loose, this plastic cog here is worn badly, and so that's kind of your second negative. Can't really replace that these days. It's very difficult to get spares for something that old. And then you can see here we've got a broken foot, so you've got three negatives. So this becomes a spares reel almost instantaneously, really. These were popular in the 70s, and they became an evolutionary dead end, really. They didn't really take off very well. And it's what's called a closed face reel, and you manipulate the line and cast with this lever here, and inside it has a lot of very nice quality brass parts. I think Dam were a reasonable make in their day. On the face of it, there's nothing apart from a very slightly loose handle, which can be fixed. There's nothing really particularly badly wrong with this. I haven't looked at the cogs inside though, and it is possible that there may be an issue with that. I'm not sure. But on the whole, this could be renovated over. I don't know what the final resale value is. It's probably not very high though. Now another vintage reel that I was going to show you is this. This is a Young's Prydex, and they made these around the 1950s. The ones that were made prior to 1955 used almond green paint, which was used for Spitfire triggers. Strangely enough. So if you get the almond green one, then you've basically got a Spitfire reel, which is great. So again, what you do is you go over the reel and you check out it's got all the right parts on it, and these are definitely the right parts. And we pick up a fault straight away. Look, so you can see here, we've got a fault that can't really be repaired. So you need to ask whether you really want a reel with that on it. Now this piece in the middle, this is called a Slater latch, and that needs to spin. And the Slater latch is actually pretty tricky on the Young's reels, and that's probably due to someone else having the real patent for it. So one of the things that you check is that this has not got too much wear on it, and you check that both of these are present. The reason there's two is so that you can change the reel from left-handed to right-handed, should you wish to. That is actually okay, that reel, generally speaking, but there is a problem, and the problem is the reel actually works perfectly, but it's got a broken foot. That's the problem. Now this particular reel has got screwed foot on it, and so you can replace these, but you need to find a donor to bring it from, and obviously the donor would need to have something else wrong with it you couldn't fix. So it's worth looking out for these things when you're buying a vintage reel, so you know what you're doing. Check the amount of play there is on the drum and whether it comes up and down too much. Apart from that, that's just another example for the series that I'm making at the moment about buying vintage fishing reels. So anyway, this is Avian Fish signing off now.